You ever have one of those moments where you realize your idea of home was just a fantasy, and the real story starts when someone tries to steal it right out from under you? Yeah, that was me, standing on my porch, still smelling fresh paint, thinking I'd finally found peace on earth until Karen showed up with a fistful of fake HOA bylaws and the kind of attitude that makes you want to check your will just in case. We bought this place because there was no HOA, no rules about mailbox colors, no angry emails about your grass length, just a slice of freedom and a lake so still you could hear yourself think. That lasted about 3 days. I'd barely finished unpacking when I saw this notice taped to my window, unapproved wall paint color. 3 days in. I was still living out of boxes, eating takeout on a milk crate. And then, as if summoned by the universe to ruin my day, Karen Blonde Bob Frozen smile. The human embodiment of a cold front comes marching across the street. She sticks her finger in my face and says, "Everyone follows the HOA here, you two." Now, this woman is talking about an organization that doesn't even exist in a neighborhood that's never had one. And I'm thinking, lady, you want to play HOA in a land with no sheriff. Fine, I hope you brought backup. Let me back up a sec. My name's Ryan Cole. I'm 38, an architect by trade. And 3 days ago, I was on cloud 9 unloading my U-Haul into this lakefront cabin, feeling like I'd finally outrun all the beige sameness and stupid rules I'd spent my career designing for other people. The woman tossing my glassware onto the driveway, by the way, is Mara Jennings. She's got the kind of haircut that could cut glass, and her eyes are colder than January in Minnesota. She's shrieking about community storage violations, hurling my boxes around so hard my dog started hiding behind the sofa. I'm standing there watching 15 years of my life scatter like autumn leaves, wondering if maybe, just maybe, I'd made a mistake. But this was my granddad's place, built in '62, out here in the pines, 2 acres of no neighbors unless you count the deer. No HOA, no rules, just freedom and the sound of the lake at night. That's what the listing said, and I checked every county record twice. So I try to stay calm and tell her, "Ma'am, this isn't part of any HOA. I've done my homework." She freezes mid-throw, sets down the box, and gives me this smile that makes me want to check if my car's locked. She whips out a thick folder full of papers with official-looking stamps and tells me, "You're wrong, Mr. Cole. This whole community is under voluntary HOA management civic renewal community since last year. Every new resident must sign the guidelines within 72 hours. She lays out these documents across my truck hood, looking like she's about to deal a hand of Texas Hold'em with my life savings. The seals look real, but the font's off Times New Roman, inconsistent margins. I know a DIY job when I see one, but she's got a business card and everything. I call 911. Someone's trespassing, throwing my stuff. The deputies show up Smith, who looks like he's one bad cup of coffee from retirement, and Jones eager green. I expect them to cuff Mara. Instead, she launches into this speech, even hands over a court order with a red seal. Mr. Cole is refusing to comply with lawfully established community guidelines. We have county enforcement authority. Now my spidey sense is tingling. I grab my laptop and start digging. Turns out there was an HOA Lakeside Commons, but it got dissolved in 2019 after a giant embezzlement scandal. Court-ordered permanent. No HOA has any legal authority here. I show the deputies my laptop, show them the court records. Mara's smile falters just for a second before she pivots, starts talking about transitional governance and community standards. The deputies say it's a civil dispute, tell us to work it out like grown-ups and drive away. As Mara gathers her papers, she leans in and says low and cold, "This isn't over, Mr. Cole." And I'm thinking, neither is my headache. But as I stood there, boxes everywhere, I realized her paperwork wasn't just a bluff. She'd put real effort into this scam. How many people had she fooled already? And what was she really after? The next morning, I go full detective. Start with Mrs. Peterson next door. She's 72. Garden's legendary. She tells me, "Oh yes, that nice Marla woman had me sign a survey about garbage collection. She seemed so concerned." My gut sinks. Then I talked to Jim Mitchell, the construction guy he says she talked about. neighborhood break-ins, needed signatures for security. He bought it too. And across the street, Sarah Thompson, mom of two, thought she was signing a petition for road repairs. Mara even had accident charts. Each neighbor a different story, a different fear. But the fine print on every paper, I agreed to participate in a resident self-governance organization. She'd played them all. I spread out the evidence on my kitchen table looking for a pattern. Fonts, margins, printer signatures identical. Templates lifted off real HOA documents you can find online. She wasn't winging it. This was pro-level deception designed to fool cops, judges, and regular folks alike. So I call in the big guns, Diana Walsh, real estate attorney, tough as nails office right at the courthouse. She takes one look at the paperwork and says, Ryan, to form an HOA here, you'd need 75% approval, a public vote registration with the state, and a 30-day notice. Mara's organization doesn't even come close. Diana also warns me these scams often lead to property acquisition schemes. Mara could be working with investors pushing folks to sell cheap. Suddenly, this isn't just about annoying neighbors. This is criminal. That afternoon, I get a cease and desist letter in the mail, harassment, defamation, interfering with community activities. The letter's from Marcus Jennings, Esquire, at Mara's address. Public records say Marcus is her son. Legal records say his license was suspended 2 years ago for stealing client money. The letter threatening me worthless. But the threat is real. These folks are dangerous, and now they know I'm on to them. That night, Mara and Marcus show up at my door looking ready for war. She tells me, "You're making a mistake. We have legal authority here." Standing in my entryway facing two people who built an empire of lies, I realize this is bigger than me. But now that Marcus's lawyer status is exposed, I have leverage. A week later, flyers go up in every mailbox. Civic Renewal Community, 501c4 nonprofit, preserving property values. Slick marketing, stock photos, a whole PR campaign. Mara holds a launch event at the community center with news crews and banners. She's going all in on her fake HOA, making it look legit. 3 days later, I get a violation notice. Exterior trim, painted unauthorized corn silk, color code FFF8DC. That's right, they're citing me by hexadecimal code. Then comes a lighting violation, too bright. Then an American flag violation, wrong dimensions. The threats get nastier, fines start stacking. Mara even refuses my request for financial records, citing organizational privacy. I call the IRS. The nonprofit's tax ID doesn't exist. Mara's collecting money in her own account, textbook tax fraud. I keep digging. Her templates, letterhead guidelines, all ripped off from a defunct HOA in Arizona. I catch her at the grocery store and confront her. For the first time, she looks scared. She mutters, "I built something beautiful here once. They ruined it. I'm just trying to fix what's broken." Suddenly I see it. This isn't just about money for her. She's living out some warped nostalgia, trying to remake the neighborhood in her own image. Weird things start happening. Mail arrives, open muddy footprints around my windows, trash cans moved. I spot a neighbor, Harold, measuring my grass at midnight, checking my porch lights with a sound meter, loosening my deck railing, even dumping dead fish by my AC intake. These aren't pranks, they're calculated attacks to drive me out. That's when I bring in Monica Rivera, an investigative journalist. She uncovers that Mara Jennings is actually Martha Goldman, a serial con artist wanted in multiple states for fake HOA scams, property fraud, even driving a guy, my own cousin Michael, to suicide after he lost his house. This stops being a property dispute and turns into a vendetta. I start sharing my story on YouTube. My video, "Woman Claims My House Belongs to Her." HOA, when no HOA exists, goes viral overnight. Suddenly, neighbors and strangers are coming forward, stories of Martha harassing single moms, veterans, cancer patients. Our Facebook group explodes, and Martha fires back with a $2 million lawsuit, dragging up my finances, my cousin's death, everything she can dig up. Then, Jennifer Walsh, Martha's old secretary, reaches out. She's got emails, financials, training docs, a literal playbook for psychological warfare. The files show bribes to politicians, plans to create crises to take over whole communities, and commission deals with a real estate firm that flips homes she forces people to sell. My own file. Tactics for exploiting Michael's suicide to break me. One night my fire alarm screams. My garage is burning Molotovs through the windows, my truck torched. Luckily, my granddad built a secret tunnel to the lake. I crawl out and watch motorcycles speed off. My cameras catch the whole thing, faces, license plates, the works. Cops find the arsonist, a neighbor paid off by Martha, and search her house. They find contracts, gasoline receipts, maps, business cards for the vulture firm buying up distressed properties. It all comes together. Martha's tried to run me out just like she did Michael. She's bribed officials, worked politicians, and made millions forcing people out. With the help of Diana, Monica, and Jennifer's evidence, the feds swoop in, FBI, forensic accountants, a grand jury. Martha's indicted for racketeering, arson, conspiracy to murder, and a laundry list of fraud. Her defense collapses when she sneers on the stand that weak people shouldn't own property. The jury comes back so fast you'd think they had somewhere better to be. 18 years in federal prison for Martha, 6 for the arsonist. Her son's barred from practicing law ever again. Senator Hayes, who tried to help her with legislation, resigns in disgrace. Our community gets restitution, legal precedents get set, and Congress passes new laws to stop this from ever happening again. We even have an annual festival now, Freedom from Fraud, where neighbors gather, share stories, celebrate not just surviving, but winning. I visit Michael's grave with proof we got justice flowers, a conviction notice, and the promise that what happened to him won't happen to anyone else. So next time someone shows up waving HOA bylaws where none exist, remember your rights matter. Don't let fear or some nostalgia-driven bully steal your home or your peace. If my story made you think or gave you the push to fight back, share your own experience, and let's keep the conversation going, because justice starts right here with folks like us refusing to back down. You know what I mean?